Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're doing a headset review, something I haven't done for a while now. It's these guys right here, the Logitech G433 7.1 surround sound gaming headset. And let's jump right into it then and talk about the specs and features. So as far as the drivers go, it's coming with 40mm drivers with a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, impedance of 32 ohms, and the standard cable length is about 2 meters, which is pretty good for most people if you're going to be using these at a desk. Now it comes with a detachable microphone and heaps of accessories. There's just so many cables that come with this. This can be used with pretty much every device though, so your PC, consoles, your mobile phone, whatever it is, you should be able to use this with it, as it comes with about every cable you could ever ask for. Now let's talk about the looks, because they're definitely different from most gaming headsets we see these days. So it has this material mesh look around the outside. I find it quite refreshing actually. It's good that there's a bit of difference out there. It also comes with a bunch of color options as well, which people will quite like. The design itself is fairly standard. There's really nothing out of the ordinary with it. Maybe I'd say it's a bit sleeker than your average gaming headset, not as bulky as some of the really big ones we see nowadays. But for the most part, it's pretty standard there. The main benefit I see with these guys is that you could put these on and wear these anywhere you like. On the bus, on a train, and people wouldn't look at you funny. Some of the gaming headsets out there just look so hardcore that if you put them on in public, people would be looking at you like, wow, that guy's super cool. They're just not like that. That's the good thing about them. You could wear them anywhere and it wouldn't be an issue at all. But let's talk about the comfort then, because you're not going to be wanting to wear them anywhere if they're uncomfortable. And for this, I would say it's a mixed bag. It's always a difficulty with peripherals, because what I say is comfortable may be uncomfortable with somebody else, or vice versa. So for these, personally, for me, I would say that they're mainly good, but they have their drawbacks. They are lightweight, and the material themselves on the ear cups is very nice. That's quite good. However, the ear cups themselves, the foam in them, is quite stiff. Maybe that'll loosen over time, as these are brand new, but it is something I definitely noticed straight away. The padding itself is decent though, so I'll give it that much. It has a lot of clamping force, so when it holds itself very, very snugly onto your head. So this is good. You can see now, if I try to throw these off, they're not going anywhere. So that's going to be good for people that use these in public, because you don't want to be using your phone or something and these fall off when you're walking down steps or something like that. So that's really good. The problem is, because it has so much clamping force, they can get uncomfortable after a while. Now you won't really notice it's as you put them on after maybe an hour or two of gaming, but after that you do you feel that clampiness, and it also sits a little bit hard across the top of my head there. Now it may just be me, but this is something that I noticed, and so this is a headset that can start, you do start to feel them become quite, not quite, but more uncomfortable over time. When you first put them on, you'll be like, wow, this is really nice, but after I'd say 3 or 4 hours of wearing them consistently, you will start to notice that clamping force will feel quite harsh around your ears and that. Overall, I would say it's just decent in terms of the comfort, for me anyway. It's far from the worst, that's for sure, but it's definitely not the best. And it's a similar affair when we go over to the audio quality themselves, the audio performance. So if you enable the 7.1, that's going to be really good for all your competitive games. If you're playing CSGO or something like that, it's very good. You'll be able to hear where people are nicely around you. The problem is, I really wouldn't recommend using it. So I use this to play Dishonored 2, which is a stealth game at times, so you want to hear where people are. And with the 7.1 enabled, you definitely hear where the people are a lot better than with it off. The problem is, the way it does this is by sort of like delaying the sound. and it makes it sound really hollow. The audio quality itself gets diminished so much when you enable 7.1 that honestly, unless you're playing a competitive game and you don't really care, I wouldn't really recommend it. I would probably leave it off, and I tended to when I was playing Dishonored because it just ruins the audio quality for me. I'd rather have that better audio quality. For music and movies and things like that, watching YouTube, it's decent. It isn't as rich or full of a sound quality that I would really like. It is something that some people might be able to overlook, but me personally, I do like it, that kind of more rich, full sound you have to your movies or your music, especially if you like listening to hip-hop music like I do. You do really like that kind of fuller sound to it. It's not that bad. It just sounds a little bit like it's a little bit distant, is how I would put it. Not quite what I'd like. The noise isolation is okay, I would say. It does a decent job of cancelling out the noise around you, but again, it's far from the best there. I think that's mainly due to how much it clamps in, but it still does a decent job. And I know I keep repeating it, but these headphones are just quite mediocre in a lot of ways. They're just decent or okay, or maybe slightly better than okay in a lot of areas, and the sound quality is another one of them. Now let's talk about the mic quality then. And it wasn't mediocre in terms of the mic quality. So if you want to attach the mic, you just put it on the front here and let me grab this and plug it in just like that. And of course it's flexible, so you can set it to wherever you like. The mic quality itself was just fine. I had no issues with it whatsoever. It's going to be just fine for talking to your friends on Skype when you're playing games, or if you're a streamer or something like that. It's going to be just fine. But as always, I'll let you guys judge for yourself. So this is what the mic quality sounds like.
So here we are. This is just me talking in a normal room voice. This is probably like what you'd talk to your friends like. If we go up really high, like, get to the chopper! Oh my god, where is my dishwasher? That's what it kind of sounds like. If we go down low like this, you're trying to talk really softly, someone else is in the room, maybe you're trying to do some ASMR or something like that. That's what it sounds like.
So yeah, that should give you an idea of what the mic quality is like. Just fine. No issues there, at least for me. Now let's talk about the build quality then, because that's an important thing. You obviously want these to last. As far as I can tell, I think they would last quite nicely. I mean, maybe the mesh material will get more dirty than others, which are just straight plastic. And it is plastic fantastic the whole way around. It does have a steel headband though, so that's nice. It feels a little bit on the flimsy side of things. You obviously want a bit of flex there. If you're packing these away, you don't want something very, very rigid. Something you learn in engineering. You don't want things very rigid, or else they're more likely to break. You want a little bit of flexibility there, and that's what they have, which is good. So yeah, I think these guys would last a decent amount of time, but you will need to be aware with all the mesh on it that these are going to get pretty dirty pretty quick, I would imagine. Which brings us now to the conclusion, and what do I make of the Logitech G433 surround sound gaming headset? So let's talk about price. So right now at Playtech here in New Zealand, they're coming in at 149 New Zealand dollars. That puts them at the exact same price point as the HyperX Cloud 2s. Now honestly, this is I would put it like this. It's a good all-rounder. It doesn't do anything bad, so to speak, but it doesn't do anything particularly good. It's probably one of the most mediocre headsets I've ever tested, to be perfectly honest. And at that price point, it needs to do a bit more than be just mediocre, for me anyways, because the Cloud 2s are absolutely excellent. So with that in mind, I would say if it's possible for you, I would probably just buy the Cloud 2s over these guys. Not that these are anything bad, it's just the Cloud 2s are just better, and they're coming in at the exact same price point. However, if you cannot buy that headset, maybe where you live they don't sell the Cloud 2s, then yeah, these guys will still be fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with them. They just don't do anything particularly well, at least for me anyways. They're good all round, but then don't do anything exceptionally well. So that's basically how I have to leave this review. If you're able to buy something like the Cloud 2s, I would highly recommend them over this pair of headphones. But if you end up with these, or you can't find anything else you like, then they will still do very well. And of course, they have a lot more versatility than the Cloud 2s, which some people are going to want in a gaming headset. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.